WK, welcome to the Power of Partying.
Party on! Woo!
It's fantastic to be back in South Carolina. I remember very clearly, inexplicably clearly, the first time I was not only in South Carolina, but right here at this very venue. Back in 2002, were you there as well? Holy smokes. 14 years of partying, and I'm more baffled and blown away that any of this has happened at all. I remember the parking lot of this place very clearly. I don't know why certain memories hang in your head. I think it was kind of an advanced, almost prophetic sort of vision that someday I would be returning and we would be talking about partying and partying about talking and continuing on this mission to conjure up a joyful, essential value worth celebrating every day in life.
Yes.
Woo! Thank you very much. And going back to those early experiences, my first foray into the adventures of a professional partier, I remember the feeling of afterglow, the elation that would hold over at the conclusion of a rock and roll concert. My band and I would perform in a room like this, in this very room. I mean, the party vibes are still here, hovering in the air. They're still sizzling. And with that optimism, that enthusiasm, that energy, we would then go out and talk about life with the folks that had shared that room with us, much like you're sharing this room again now all these years later. And it was so mind-blowing and so encouraging and so heartwarming and so life-affirming to be able to have a party and then talk about these most hardcore things with folks after that event to keep the party going, to have the concert almost be sort of a pre-party for the post-party, after-party, or main body of the party being this discussion about what it is to be a human being. And this tour, this 50-state U.S. tour, Power of Partying, actually 51 dates, including Washington, D.C., this is about setting aside the entire night to dive into these most worthy yet elusive topics of how to exist in the world. It's very intense to be alive, so we're going to dive into it together tonight, cheer each other on, and have a pep rally for the human spirit.
Hail pizza!
So I just want to show you, in case you were wondering, for better or worse, I have no notes prepared. So this is just a big blank box.
Thank you.
But it gives me something to stand behind, protect my fragile body. I also want to say thank you very, very much for choosing to be in this room with me on a Monday night out of all the other places you could undoubtedly be otherwise. It is not lost on me that you're deciding to be in here. You are financially contributing to my ability to even be a professional partier. That is not lost on me for a moment. And here, 15 years later, since the party began in 2001, it is something that I take less and less for granted. It is more and more amazing to me that any of this has happened, and it's more clear to me that the only way it's happened since the beginning, and especially now, is because of you. Because of you giving me the ability and the privilege of being a professional partier. It's always been a team effort, and it's even more of a team effort than ever before now. So thank you.
Thank you.
I also want to say thank you very much to Village Idiot Pizza, really, who have turned what would be a psychic pizza party, because all parties really are pizza parties, whether there's pizza there or not. But it helps to actually have the physical food there to bite down upon and to enjoy and to savor. So thank you to Village Idiot for providing those pizzas tonight at a very reasonable and generous price. And thank you to Mike at New Brooklyn Tavern for actually purchasing those pizzas at that very reasonable price. Shouldn't be called Village Idiot. It really should be Village Genius Pizza, because anyone who devotes their life to the very worthy service of providing pizza to humanity, that is a noble effort. That is a true calling, and something I'm continuously inspired by. My goal in life is to be essentially the human equivalent of pizza. And to try to create that level of reliable joy. That is the hope. So yeah, tonight we'll work essentially in 3 phases. The first phase has already begun. This is the phase of me rambling. But the hope with this is not just pure babbling, but rather to establish some kind of context, a foundation, so that we can then dive into the most enjoyable, at least in my opinion, part of the evening, which is our discussion, our Q&A. There's a microphone somewhere thereabouts. There it is. Thank you, sir. We're well lit as well. Thank you for that. So whatever's on your mind, this is our chance to talk about it, to dive in. That's what tonight is about. And I also we'll have a time set aside after that where if there's a topic that you don't feel comfortable discussing in front of a room full of strangers, I can relate to the unnerving intensity of that feeling. There is an area over back there, I believe, where there are party posters and party t-shirts, and I will be hanging out there for the duration of the night, and the remainder of the time we have together can be spent in a more one-on-one, intimate setting, talking about whatever you want. But the whole point is to be together in this room, and not only to bond with each other, but to bond with those feelings inside ourselves that are otherwise overlooked or pushed to the background or numbed out. It's time to embrace those feelings and cheer each other on, to summon up that strength, to actually not only seek out challenges in life, but to look at the entire thing as the ultimate party, that being alive is the biggest party of all. Can we establish that attitude?